As many of you know, I went through a pretty bad back injury and it's been quite the journey. So whether you're struggling with a similar injury or just want some tips on how you can lift heavy and safely and avoid this from happening to you, make sure to watch the video and leave a like for good luck. So just to give some context, the first time I hurt my back was actually summer of 2021. The day of the injury, I remember feeling like this pinch in my lower back all day, but I decided to just ignore it and go to the gym, and I was squatting weight that I had usually been able to do like pretty easily for reps. But yeah, as you can tell from the video, my back just like gave out mid-rep. I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it was so painful when it first happened, and I'm sure if you had it happen to you, you know the feeling. I ended up fainting the next morning, and then my sister called and the paramedics came, brought me to the hospital. Long story short, I ended up seeing a doctor. She strongly advised me to take 6 months off. I obviously didn't listen. I took about 10 days off before I started squatting the same weight again. So since I never really addressed the injury or gave it time to heal, I had so many flare-ups like within that year where I'd feel a snap in my back and then I was out for a few days and then felt better and then went back to regular training, and then a few months later felt the snap again and then just kept repeating that. At this point it was just like a regular thing. It was like my period. It was like, oh, got my period this week. Oh, snapped my back this week. But yeah, as some of you know, last October, 1 week out from my competition, it happened again. And this time was pretty bad. I went to see a doctor and did some scans. The scans showed that I had a herniated L5-S1 disc, and the doctor said that if I keep going, there was a chance I could end up crippled. So it was at that moment where I realized, okay, I should probably do something because I do not want to end up crippled. It's crazy because I remember thinking at this time like I'd have to give up powerlifting. The doctors actually told me that I should give up, but now I can happily say it's been over 1.5 years and I've not only had 0 flare-ups, but I'm hitting PRs that I never could have even dreamed of hitting, like even before my back injuries, with absolutely no pain at all. So that feels pretty good. Hopefully that can motivate you and show you that your injury is not the end of the world, not the end of your lifting career. You can come back from it and you can come back much stronger. Okay, enough rambling about what happened. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, it's probably happened to you. Maybe not in the same way it happened to me, but I'm sure you're wondering like what you can do moving forward to come back from this injury. So there's actually no single thing that I did to just like magically heal. I know some people will do surgery, which the doctor did propose, but I didn't want to do that. There's a bunch of other like special treatments I was also seeing, like that include like magnetic waves and ultrasound therapies and stuff like that. I didn't do any of that. Okay, so the first thing I did was I went to see a physio as the doctor recommended. I told the physio that my goal was to get back into powerlifting, and he looked at me and told me that that was not a great idea. He gave me a few exercises, which to be honest, I see how they would be good if you're just trying to get back to like feeling good in general, like daily life. But since my goal was really to get back into powerlifting, I decided not to continue with the physio just because I didn't really see how those exercises would help me. He basically gave me like side to side bends and like toe touches and then like grabbing your knee stretch. So not saying I'm against physios, I just didn't really see how this one was going to help me with my specific goals. Didn't see myself doing these exercises like 5 times a day. But then I found a really good sports rehab specialist and powerlifting coach through a friend, and he said that he could help me get back into lifting, so I like that. Honestly, I have him to thank for how I'm feeling today. So thank you, Kevin. He does not have Instagram, but I'll put his website here so you can check him out if you want. So now getting into like the rehab process. Obviously, I had to take a bunch of steps back, and I felt like I was honestly starting back at square one, but I think it was necessary to really build that like foundational strength. We started with lighter and higher reps front squats, then moved on to high bar squats, and then finally progressed into low bar squats, as these put the most stress and like angle on your spine. The same thing went for deadlifts. So we started out with dumbbell RDLs and then progressed to barbell RDLs and then finally deadlifts off the floor. We incorporated each new movement slowly and one at a time with little to no weight, and then monitored any symptoms like the day after on a scale of 1 to 10. If it was good, we proceeded to add weight the following weeks, and if it hurt, we took some more time to get used to the exercise and see maybe why it was hurting. Next thing I want to talk about is core strength. Strengthening my core was one of the things that has helped me the most. I realized it is crucial for supporting your spine during heavy lifts. A strong core is literally the foundation for a healthy back, especially if you're lifting heavy. I realized because I was deadlifting a lot and like never training my abs, I was way more developed in the back versus the front. And yeah, a weak core can lead to a bad brace, which can lead to a bad injury. So on the day that I hurt my back, like right before the competition, my erectors were so sore from kind of maxing out on deadlifts. So even though I was squatting relatively light, I lost my brace on the way down, and that's what led to me getting injured. So to help with that, I added core strengthening exercises to my warm-up, which I do before every squat and deadlift day, and I find has been helping a lot. And I still do the same exact warm-up every day, and I will continue to do it. A few other things I did during this time was try and avoid things that would like aggravate the injury. So for me, it was affecting my sciatic nerve. So I would have this like shooting pain down my leg when I was driving. So I tried to drive less. Also walking. I started walking a lot more. Walking is honestly underrated. I noticed a huge difference in the days where I would get lots of steps in versus the days where I was just kind of sitting all day. Lastly, the thing I would say that's probably helped the most was learning to listen to my body. As like cliche as that sounds, if I would have done this, I definitely could have avoided this injury, but you live and you learn, and I definitely learned. There's so many different factors that affect recovery. Sleep, stress, nutrition. For women, it could be your time of the month. On days where you're not feeling like 100% recovered, especially if you're lifting heavy. Before I was so fixated on following the program to the T. Like if it said this number this day, I would have to do it. But yeah, if I would have just listened to my body, I could have definitely avoided that injury because I was not feeling good that day. Also, I want to mention that I was doing a super extreme cut for that competition to fit into the lower weight class. I definitely don't recommend cutting aggressively, as that really does play into your recovery, especially when you're trying to get stronger. That is why powerlifters eat a lot. So yeah, that's definitely something I'll never do again, is cut while prepping for a competition. Yeah, for this last competition, I was eating in a surplus and actually bulking up, and I noticed such a huge difference. Like I felt way less sore. And yeah, I just felt so much better physically. So, okay, my battery's gonna die soon, so I have to wrap things up, but I hope sharing my experience helped anyone who may be going through something similar. And yeah, let me know if ever you have any other questions or want me to make more videos about this in the future. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.